Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And Hamda.
And it's the awards show. We're going to call the winners of our recent 2022 KATGuh Award nominations.
Very exciting. Very nerve-wracking.
Take a look. KeithAndTheGirl.com/awards. It's every award show we've ever done with the follow-up show like we're doing now when we call the winners. They're all right there. KATG.com/awards. Very proud of what you, the audience, collected as your saddest moments, happiest moments, cringiest, goofiest. It's all in there. Okay.
I do like how awkward the word awards is. It's almost like you have to put a pause in between. KeithAndTheGirl.com/awards. That's not because we're hoity-toity and we're like, wait for it. We have to actually wrap our mouth around the word awards. It's so difficult. And I don't know why. Maybe because if you're getting an award, if you're part of an award ceremony, you should be at the highest level of being able to communicate. Well, here we are, everybody. The highest level of communication, the awards show. Welcome. I hope you're dressed nice.
This is Keith and the Girl. Congratulations, and I hope you enjoy it. I want to read this message from Stephtastic7, and they say, love this recent episode with Christy Cello and Hope D.
May I second that? That was so much fun. I took that energy with me the whole weekend, and I think I rode my bike faster. It was that much fun.
I very recently in a group made a joke about free Barabbas, and no one knew what I was talking about. And I was like, oh, you all didn't do a weird play in church every year where you all screamed at the priest to kill Jesus? I was surprised that neither Christy, who believes she's Christian, but, has sex and appreciates gay people.
Maybe I was going to say
also never heard of this play.
Well, I was raised Jewish, so I never heard of even the word Barabbas. I don't know. But I'm wondering if maybe Christy is misunderstanding that her name is Christy almost N. Christian. So maybe
I'd do that too. If I was half of that, sure, I'd be, I'd say, yeah, I know less about really where I'm from than if I made up that silliness.
Right.
But yeah, I'm surprised people don't know about this, but I'll remind you. I was also an altar girl, says this person, Stephtastic. Also, just to make time pass. That's why I did it. Church was so fucking boring. I'm like, let me do something.
I didn't know that being an altar person. Very strange name now that I think about it without the gender after it. Altar boy, altar person. Very interesting.
You're making them a man. I'd rather you kept a boy, and if you have to make a girl, that's fine too, of course. But I don't want you thinking these are people yet. These are altered children, and we need to keep our eyes on them.
I see. Okay. It's just, you're an alternative to human is what altar person sounds like. But I didn't know altar person would be like a volunteer position with, I wouldn't call it enthusiasm, but like it was my idea. I wouldn't think that kids could be so bored that being an altar boy or an altar girl would sound like something to do. That tells me a lot about your town and the town that this other person grew up in.
Yeah, and I know it's not going to help me get laid being an altar person, but I already knew I was going to have sex before marriage, so it didn't matter. So I can,
So might as well party down the aisle with the priest.
Yeah, I'm already a busboy. You saw me in my leather apron. The white robe isn't going to change anything. All right. Stephtastic says, I hated doing the book. You have to hand the priest the book. Of course, they're on a power trip. Hand it to me. And you get to see this little boy walk over, pick up a good book and go, here's your book, father. Here's your book, father.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
You know what? I never really thought about what altar people do, but how does the priest tell you to get the big book?
You know when you hear the end of a sentence, and that's when you get the book.
Okay. And like the best altar people are the ones who have the book like right there when it's ready?
No, you have to act like you didn't know until you're like, oh, right now. You can't anticipate too much. You can't be eager. You just have to be there at the priest's every whim. Sometimes some priests will do a move where they just put their hand up and they're like, now it's time. Like they like to really show their power.
But it's time.
But I knew it was time anyway. Yeah.
Because that's the time that
my hand. Yeah. Yeah. It's always at the same time. Church never changes.
Oh, really? He just wanted to wave a wand.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a ring. I want it to shine.
And then do they actually read from the Bible?
Yeah. They probably
Like,
have a passage or two memorized, but it's, I mean, it's in your missalette, whatever he's saying. He just gets a bigger book of it.
okay, and in Jewish law, we read the we. Why do I still say we? Why? Why? Okay, anyway, these fucking Jew. No, all right. I guess that's why I want to say we, because I'm like, I get to say whatever we want. But the Jews start at a specific day, and it's a pretty holy day. You start the Bible from the beginning. And so we read the beginning. And then when we get to the end, it's a full year. So every day on this date, we're on this passage, and you just read the whole Bible every year over and over again.
We
Do the
kind of do that. It repeats. Yeah, it repeats.
so the priests don't pick today. We'll randomly go
No,
from three.
the readings will change, but everything is set where it is. Communion is about, do you know what time if you only want a communion? I know when I'm probably gonna ring the bells. She said she didn't like doing the bells. Steph Tastic says, because I had to pay more attention. So yeah, you do have to catch the 3 times you're supposed to ring the bells, and sometimes it is a little difficult. And I think one time I put Jesus into a chair. I'm not gonna lie. I think I fucked it up and didn't go right into the bread. But yeah, anything to kill time. How fucking boring. All things fucking ridiculous. We were in the Keith and the Girl chat room the other day and just talking about that stupid Ash Wednesday, and that you walk around with that I voted sticker on your forehead. You're a grown adult and you go back to work and you're like, hi. Oh, this just better than you. That's all. And what's that on your head, Mary? I quit potato chips for a month. Oh. Somebody brought up the point, it might have been Craig, where I bet the priest starts being very, I'm going to give everybody the best cross of ashes on their forehead. Next thing you know, you're down 3 lines and it's barely a check mark. It's all faded. I was like, okay, next. People are walking around with X's.
It's so true, because as a person who was raised Jewish, when I first started seeing the ashes on the forehead, I didn't know. All of a sudden, people in my school had ashes on their forehead, had a dark spot. The first person I saw, I almost told, like, hey, you have a smudge on your face. How do I know that this is a thing, right? So then I started seeing that multiple kids had it, and I thought it was a thing. But if it's supposed to be a cross, this is really far gone.
They get
Like,
tired. I think that's what it is. I think they get tired. The
I have
first
never.
couple are dramatic and thick, and the other one, the ashes are falling off at the end.
I think only like 1% of people, here's the 1% again, only 1% get a literal cross, because I have never once, and every year I see the ashes, I have never once seen it in the shape of a cross. Interesting.
I would get the ashes on my hand. I don't want to get in trouble with blackface in this environment.
I like that voice that you do where it's like, here's my shithead comedy.
What can I say nowadays, guys? I'm surprised if a church never got in trouble for trying out white ashes on black people.
Are you making up stuff that they can
I can easily see that. Like, well, they have paint and they have a way you take a picture. I don't see why I shouldn't have white ashes. So they, of course, put these palms on the ground, those big leaves for Jesus to walk on when they adored him. So that's what they end up burning a couple days later to show how we turned on Jesus after all, and we didn't love him. It was a quick turnaround for loving this guy.
Is that what Palm Sunday is?
Yes, we're praising him. We're like, you do another play, actually. During this time, it's a lot of plays. And you're like, we love you, Jesus. And then get ready for next week. You're going to hate him. Bring your wallets next week. You're going to feel like a piece of shit. Now, this Easter play was the priest would be, especially like the big one, the big passion play, was the priest is Jesus, because it takes an egomaniac to play one.
Now, hold on. Yeah. This is like you're in Sunday services and on this date, somewhere in the services, he's going to go into this play randomly, or is it
it's playtime? No, because you have in your missalette, your little books you get, it's spelled out your parts. Just says crowd or whatever, Jews, but you're all the Jews that turned on Jesus.
Does it say Jew?
Yeah. Oh, of course. There's not. People said, oh, he saw Passion of the Christ, that Mel Gibson movie, and he says the Jews killed Jesus. It's like, did you read the book? You did.
Wait, but this okay, so in this script, so you go to Sunday services and it's a
Yeah,
special Sunday
it's
service.
special. It's going to take about an hour and a half at least.
And normally it takes
About an hour, maybe a little less.
okay, because we're gonna go into the play and you have your script when you come in.
Yes.
Okay, so you're reading from the script. You are either the crowd. You are the
You are the
crowd.
crowd. You're a Jew that wants Jesus dead today. That's your job.
Oh, so the crowd is the Jews, or
Yes.
are we separating crowd from Jews?
No, we're the Jews.
Oh,
Crowd, Jews,
wow.
same thing. That's where you got to be the Jews that kept
Oh,
yelling to kill Jesus. And Jesus
okay.
is like, what did I do? Like he's up there like he's fucking Meryl Streep, right? He's like, guys, I just want to promote peace. And then he whispers into the microphone, now call me a piece of shit. And we're all like, fuck you, kill Jesus. And he's like, what? I don't get the big deal. I'm like, you made us do that. And the deacon is Pontius Pilate, and he's in charge of the church, I believe. I mean, the prison system. And they go, but lock him up before, while we decide how we're going to kill this guy. I don't like that he promoted peace. It's very confusing. So, but I guess it makes sense. You can tell Jesus was black. So they want to throw him in jail, right? And then Pontius Pilate says, we don't got too much room for any more room for people in jail. Same problem we have today. Okay. So he says, he goes, in fact, if we put Jesus in, who washed your feet too much, we have to let out a real criminal. So you don't want that to happen. You don't want Barabbas to come out, like fucking rapist, murderer, piece of shit. And they're like, you know what? You brought us a name. I'll take it. Bring us Barabbas. You take Jesus. And the Pontius Pilate is like, I don't think we should do that. Jesus doesn't seem so bad. Fuck you, shithead. I know where you live. And the deacon's got to be like, I'm not the deacon. I'm Pontius Pilate. Don't forget.
Hold on, because I just came to this episode in Homeland.
Okay.
Yes, where they gave Saul for like 5 terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 1 terrorist and 1 for Jesus. So in order to make space in jail, they had to let out a murderer rapist.
That's the worst guy.
So that Jesus could come in. Okay. All right. That's where we are.
How sick we are in the crowd. We're saying, you give us a fucking rep. I don't need this fake God bullshit. We used to love them, but you convinced me on Twitter we don't. All right, I'm in now. Fuck them. And then Pontius Pilate's like, okay, but not for nothing. Barabbas we're talking about. Mary, you know about Barabbas. He comes in, brings wine and then takes the rest home. You said this guy was the worst thing ever. And Jebediah, never again with Barabbas, you said, remember? He never gave you back your rototiller. They go, oh, yeah, you gave us a lot to think about. Then there's someone in the back of the crowd. They get a special missalette. They go, mic check, mic check. And everybody goes, mic check, mic check. I saw him once. Use the same water for a second person's feet. The whole crowd, fuck him, crucify him, go to hell, piece of shit. And then Jesus is like, well, if that is the will of the people, then that's the will of the people. And then the priest goes, now think about what you guys did. And then they pass around the money baskets. Everybody's like, I'm a piece of shit. Here's a day's pay. Do you know what we just did? We really lost our fucking minds. No, you don't get to do anything fun in life, and you just got to do something fun. So now you're confused like you would have been a Jew that turned in Jesus? I think I'm on tape. I bet the church tapes us saying that, like Scientology, in case they want to blackmail us later. But we really hated Jesus that day. But then we gave a bunch of money, and it's like, please forgive me for hating Jesus so much. I go to these plays, Henda, at church to church, and I go, whoa, stop hey, guys. Look at the statues. Look at the windows. Does any of this ring a fucking bell? Let Jesus go. Let Jesus go. I mean, do what's right. But yeah, that's the passion play, and that's why we're the number 1 religion. People love to be heard.
But I always forget a detail, or maybe you add this detail, because I know I heard the story before, and I love hearing it. Like, I think we should do this story every Easter. I can't get enough. Maybe this is, look how the church gets, you know what? Wow. But anyway, I love this story. And I never understood, or maybe I never heard that they give the giving baskets right after this story.
Oh yeah.
That's such marketing genius.
Uh-huh. Now let's pray on everything he did do for us. Start crying. Very good. And pass it around.
So they actually say, think about for a minute what you just did,
Yes.
and then they allow silence as the baskets go around.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably singing about our God is an awesome God and we're pieces of shit.
Oh,
But
even better. Oh my God.
our
And so people,
God is an awesome God and we're pieces of shit. Here is all my money. I can't believe I yelled kill Jesus. It didn't even feel weird when I was doing it because it was a mob. I was saying kill Jesus. That's like the word. That's got to be a sin. That's taking a name in vain minimally. So yeah, I think I'll just leave my checkbook here.
were you watching adults cry?
You could see them like, oh my goodness. My mom was one of those people. She was very religious, and she would have been like, and we did that. I'm like, well, you didn't do it. I mean, I guess I should still recognize slavery, but I didn't do it.
Don't even like compare. What the?
I'm just saying.
Holy shit. Because the way that generations above us were raised, you can't have an emotion except for in church.
Right.
Like
Yes.
you actually can't. So when you could finally have an emotion, everything's a trigger. And the priest's button, he's on there. He's just going, I know you haven't been able to cry for a whole week. You're not allowed, because what would you cry over? Being a mom? You love being a mom every second of every day. What would you cry over? Being a hard worker? You must be a hard worker. Jesus loves that. So now you bottle all of this, and a lot of you are not masturbating for, I don't know, God told, I don't, whatever. So now his hand is on the trigger, and all he has to do is tell some made up story and then go think about what you did. Wow.
You bring up a great point about it's the only place adults can go and be allowed to show emotion. So
Yes.
they know they're allowed to show emotion, so they also push it. That's why they
Yes.
start speaking in tongues and throwing
Yes.
themselves around the room. They're like, oh, I get to have feelings. I don't know what that means. So I guess I'll be very stupid.
Why do you think there's a mosh pit when there's a mosh pit? Because those people normally express their feelings morning, day, and night? No, they're wearing all black and they need to smash into something because everything is in here. And the only place they get to do that without somebody calling them crazy is at this concert. So the only time you get to flail your body like you know you want to, which is why they say dance like nobody's watching and blah, 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 because you need to. And the only place you're allowed to do that is in church. Of course, church feels like coming because you are.
Yeah, I remember Passion
Thank
of the
you.
Christ talking about it with my mom after. We didn't see it together, but I saw her a Christmas after, and she mentioned just mentioned the movie, and I'm like, yeah, it's like Quentin Tarantino looked at that movie and was like, that's a lot of blood, right? So, whipping his eyeball out, and she's like, yeah, we did that to him and he took so much. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so ridiculous how great he is. Yeah, right. End of that non-conversation.
Right. Because what are you going to do? Fight with your mom
The guy's
about.
a superhero. The guy, Jesus and Passion of the Christ, is a fucking superhero physically. That guy takes a beating like no other and then goes, thank you, may I have another? And then they whip the eyelid of his other eyebrow. It was like slow motion Matrix, but in just gore.
I do remember a part where they're whipping him with I think there are nails on the whip somehow. I don't remember.
Yeah, there are thorns on the whip also, yeah.
The thorn, and the thorns get caught in his back on the pickup
Yeah.
or whatever that's called. And I'm like, yep, we needed to see that. Yeah,
They got
maybe.
caught on his eyelid at one point. It wraps around his head, gets caught on an eyelid, and rips out his eyelid. This Mel Gibson was making a fucking point. Jews.
Holy shit.
So yeah, when people say, Jesus was a Jew, it's something like they're talking about a different kind, I think, because nobody, after all these yellings and shit, nobody really got the lesson.
I'm sorry. What's that about Jews, Keith?
That Christians, I almost said we, like you with Jews, so we'll forgive both. You go, like if you knew Jesus was a Jew, wouldn't you want to be Jewish? But nobody really believes it that way. They don't put two and two together. None of these stories make sense. The Barabbas one doesn't make sense.
Huh.
Why aren't you Jewish if you know that Jesus was a Jew? And forgiving sin. What do you have to do? Oh, he had to He had to make a version of himself, a version of God. This is what God had to do. Put him on earth, human, and kill him. And that forgives future sin. No one asks how that makes any sense. It doesn't. It makes no sense. And I'm going to have you always born with sin, but you're forgiven from the past. Okay. All right. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying if you got told these stories as an adult, you wouldn't believe them, but you believe them because you were a kid. I'm not even saying, I'm saying at any age, they never made any sense. But then why are we here? And my dad told me this one. If there is no Christ, how do we have Christmas? Zing!
Oh, that's the dumbest one.
Zing! He woke up I was visiting him, and he brought it up, like about believing in Jesus, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know so much, you know. That's my way saying, no, come on. And he's like, I'm an adult now. I can give a fuck. He goes to bed. As soon as he wakes up the next morning, he almost runs out of bed into the living room. Us kids are talking. He goes, ha, 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 ha. If there is no Christ, how is there Christmas? I'm like, oh, yeah, you just keep reminding me you're an idiot. Never thought about it. Why are there synagogues? But I guess that's for another time. Where are there mosques? Why is Muslim older than Christianity? I don't know. But let's focus on this one right now, not confuse the room.
Wait, but that's a good point. I never asked you this about that story. What happens 1 second after that?
We look back at our phones as kids. Yeah, Christmas. I mean, that's gonna take a couple days to process, so I don't have a retort right now. But I didn't think of that. Like, you thought I was so stupid that I didn't put together Christ is Christmas. I didn't put that together with the tree and Frosty the Snowman somehow. And that's what's going to blow my mind. If I like presents, I must like Jesus. All right, let's call some winners over here, Hem. That's the 2022 KATGuh Award winner. And we're going to begin with most goofiest moment.
Now, this is, of course, we played the clips on the other episode a few episodes ago. What is that one called? The KATGuh nominees.
The nominees, right.
So
winners.
Make sure you heard that, or hear it backwards. We're not here to judge. Here we go.
Yeah, and then hear like who we think is going to win when we announce it.
Yeah, it's like a whole different show.
Right.
Fuck the way everybody else heard it. You do you.
I saw the Alien movies out of order. You know what? Pretty good. I'm like, they don't know the robot's bad yet? Well, they're stupid. All right. Most goofiest moment. Dave Ross, I'd eat your dog. Now, this was up because Dave Ross, I said one of Dave Ross's jokes introducing him, and he said how he was dead wrong and that the joke wasn't even fucking close. Also up for most goofiest moment, Melody Kamali and Carolyn Bergier. Keith loves women, and I do. And I do love women. I was just saying how much I love them. Why that's under goofiest? Okay, I guess it's goofy to show love. Like, you're being goofy. I can't help it. I love you. You know. Danny Vega for Tony Pizza. Yeah, the guy, it was an Am I the Asshole, I believe, and a guy would call his girlfriend Tony Pizza, and she hated it. And he kept doing it. And it seemed to be well worth not getting laid. But I don't get it because, as per earlier, I do love women. Newsy, Henda the Genius. This was a show right before Henda's birthday. I was just pointing out how Henda can read people and is so smart and caring. Christian Finnegan for Ladies and Gentlemen and Others. It's hard sometimes to follow what's going on in the world. You want to be woke. You want to be aware. And so I'm like, hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and others. People that aren't binary squares. Apparently that made it in most goofiest. And Christian Finnegan for Dad's email on mom dying. We'll now call the winner.
These were such great clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most goofiest.
Hello there.
Danny Vega. How's it going, Danny? Tony Pizza.
Tony Pizza, I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled. Thank you for the honor.
How you doing over there in general? I'm gonna I'm thinking about calling you Danny Taco. What do you think?
I don't love it because it's kind of racist because I'm Cuban, but you're kind of racist, so if that's what you want to do, I guess I'll let it.
All right, Danny Taco it is.
I don't think that that guy's girlfriend was Italian, but
Right. I don't think it had to do
Yeah.
with like her dad owning a pizza factory. I
or
think
anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's a joke I'm sick of getting, Hamza, where people are like, you're Cuban, you mean Mexican, you're half Mexican. It's like, okay, thanks, Arizona, but I want
Those
to
are
tell
good
you guys,
jokes.
I think you guys your audience is a bunch of Tony Pizzas. I wanted to give them an award. And Keith, I saved an award for you. I think you're the asshole boyfriend.
It was me, and I slid the "Am I the asshole" under his door. It's just fun. It's like a different version of these nuts. Tony Pizza. I finished sex, and I go, "You just fucked Tony Pizza." Well, I wanted to say congratulations. Everybody loves you, and thanks for being part of another great year.
I love it, and I can't wait to do more with you guys. It's always a blast. We got some new co-hosts on the pod, AITA pod, so we'll have you guys back. And thank you. I'm honored.
Excellent, congrats. It's Danny Spaghetti, everybody. Thanks, buddy.
There we go. Thanks, Keith O'Malley.
Later.
Danny Vega, definitely listen to Am I the Asshole podcast. And what was I just gonna say? I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say that he just deemed that our listeners be called Tony Pizza, and I kind of love it. Like it's kind of like when alcoholics say, "Are you friends with Bill?"
Right.
Are you friends with Bill? Are you friends of Tony?
I mean,
Tony Pizza. So all of us are friends of Tony Pizza.
By
All
the way,
right, done. That's how things happen. That's how things happen. It happens, and we agree. Go.
They would have
What's
been
that?
able to get Henda to yell at Jesus in 2 fucking seconds. Okay, believe me. Most saddest moment. Liz Mealy for remembering Gilbert Gottfried. The best. Betsy and Jack Helmuth for Roe versus Wade overturned. Betsy talked about the 3 abortions she had to get, wanted all the babies. Can't believe the way this world's going to turn out now that Roe versus Wade is overturned and things are worse. And Henda for Keith's final call to mom, where Henda played my mom, or played me. I played my mom, right? My mom, of course, didn't respond, and Henda wanted to kill herself, reminiscent of every time I would call my mom before she passed away.
You know what? This is my saddest moment because that was the best acting I've ever done. That's as good as it gets. So, it's kind of a bummer, I have to admit. But congrats to the winner. Sincerely, I do believe it's deserved.
Affordable interior design.
Well, we reached Betsy, and your winner is Betsy Helmuth for Roe versus Wade overturned.
She got us because we got her machine and it says affordable design.
Right. I think she did that just so we hear the name of her company. Betsy, how you doing?
Hey, Affordable Interior Design. This is Betsy. How can I help?
Hi. We wanted to congratulate you on winning most saddest moment for the 2022 KATGuh Awards. So congratulations on your abortions. Thank you so much for sharing the story with everybody. It was, of course, heartbreaking. And, I have people in my life that don't understand why Roe versus Wade, at the time anyway, before I showed him your episode, about why it's so bad to overturn Roe versus Wade, because it everything isn't so fucking simple. And also, like I said at the time, can you imagine somebody else telling you what's better for you and your family? I don't think anybody thought about it that way.
Especially when they're not going to help you and your family. Like the government's not going to pay for my kids' constant needs. I'm not going to get support, and I'm going to be alone in this. And when the medical community is telling you this is what you need to do and nobody will do it, it was pretty real. But just to take it back a sec, I never dreamed I would be in a category with Gilbert Gottfried and Keith, let alone winning against these heavy hitters. And as a longtime listener, I really have always dreamed of getting a Keith and the Girl Award.
Well,
So,
you know, you know what? It's an honor to present it. That is so sweet. Thank you. Is it, you bring up Gilbert Gottfried? So everyone's dying around you. Is that the abortions, Gilbert? You know. Anyway, you're staying strong. You have such a cheerful attitude about life. You know, and again, Betsy brought up how she had connections and she had money, and in doing these abortions before Roe versus Wade was overturned was still a to do, and still still had to go behind people's backs. And you know what? This is sick to have to say, but probably literally today will be nationwide, blocking the use of medication abortion. Medication abortion is the number one way people get abortions in the U.S. Nationwide, that'll most definitely be taken away today.
I can't even like.
You know what, Betsy, you were in the middle of a beautiful thank you speech, and it was lovely. It was warm. There was a lightheartedness about the thoughtfulness of everything coming out of your face. And he didn't turn on the music like, okay, we got you, very good. He turned on the trumpets. Okay, very good, Betsy. Anyway, let me tell you this about how nobody's helping anything. Keith's getting real.
Just bring it back, Keith. Keep me on topic.
Of course.
Make me cry, break me down. I feel like every time I come on, whether it's talking about the shithead Marcus Lemonis or talking about my abortion, I got to go low before we can have our levity.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a big announcement, Hendon, Keith.
Yes, please.
And my husband wanted to be here to announce with me, but we have not even told our family, not even told our friends, but we are pregnant.
Hello.
I don't, it's a medical miracle at my age, by the way, all natural.
Hello.
So
hi.
Hopefully we won't have another bad story for you in a couple months.
Well, that's great.
But
Congrats.
if we do, you'll be the first people we call to tell our new sad abortion story. But I plan on keeping this one if science allows.
How old? Can I ask how old you are? Because I'm nervous. I don't wear
44.
condoms. 44.
I'm 44, all natural. My husband and I do it regularly, but not even all that often, guys. I mean, often enough to keep it.
Well, how many you have? How many kids do you have already, Betsy?
We've got 2.
Okay, are things going okay over there?
Oh yeah, well, they're plugging right along.
Okay, no, I don't mean the kids. I mean between you and Jack. You know, it's like, let's have another kid. You're talking too much.
Well, we didn't plan this, but we did not plan. You know, we've had 2 successful pregnancies, and I've had then the abortion that I talked about on your show, but then I had 2 miscarriages. So we play fast and loose. We know how this works. Mm-hmm. We're both only children, and I had certainly hoped for a large family because being an only child, you just have a small family. So I wanted to make my own sort of family unit. I didn't imagine I'd be making it well into my 50s. You know, it'll be 6 and
right.
I'll be 50 years old. But you know, whatever.
Congratulations. What have you told the kids, and what did they say?
No. We have not. We've literally not told anyone.
You did the right thing.
You guys are like, this is the announcement.
Excellent.
Like, I haven't told my mom. You know, no, nothing has been said except for right here, because I break all my news on Keith and the Girl.
Yeah, well, they should have an interest in what you enjoy and what you're passionate about, so they should be listening. It's kind of on them.
They don't need to know. You guys need to know.
Right. Thank you.
By this time, we are family. After winning an award on your show, I feel like I'm just a member of the KATG family.
Right.
Now.
And who's your mom? A journalist? Who gives a fuck? You know?
Yeah. She doesn't need to know.
Right.
So anyway, but we thought we'd break the news here.
That's fun.
Light of this big award. So maybe I've turned the Saddest award into the most surprising, because
most surprising.
My doctor was sure surprised.
Right.
He was like, "Are you on IVF?" And I was like, "No."
But that's interesting.
And she's like, "IVF, right? Huh?"
Did he call you like a MILF right after, super quick, like just to take it back?
No, he didn't. And I said, "But I look like a spring chicken, right?" And he's like, "Sure."
Sure, but still, wow, right?
Wow.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for being part of Keith and the Girl. You're a great addition to all of our lives.
Well, now I'm a part of the family,
Mhm.
and thank you guys. Not only do you brighten my day every day when I make dinner, I listen to you guys, but also this is just a real honor. So it was a pleasure to share good news and bad news with you guys.
Well, bless you. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
A quick question: was Jesus a Jew? Anyway, okay, we'll talk to you there. Thank you.
That's fun. We're part of the family. That means that this is our news too. Congratulations to us, new baby.
Oh my goodness, this is very exciting stuff. All right, we got to keep it moving though. We're going to best
to.
rant. We have to legally. Best rant.
Okay. Now there are so many rants I feel like on this show throughout the
We're
years.
passionate. We're passionate.
So I think this really is the one. It's an honor just to be mentioned, sort of thing,
Mhm.
because you have to sift through a lot of rants, and apparently people love it. So you're welcome.
Keith Malley for Ginny's 2-star review featuring Meatloaf. This girl wrote in. This woman wrote in. A mom, for God's sakes. I say because you're supposed to have some kind of intelligence. And she's like, "You shitting on Meatloaf was too much. 2 stars for Keith and the girl. Usually I love you. Usually I wake up, I pray to you. I go to bed, I say, I hope they did well today. But you said Meatloaf was an idiot for being anti-vaxxed. And that, of course, means you're shitting on me and my husband's love because we all like Paradise by the Dashboard Lights." Brought in Karen Morrow, JC Best, and Josh Accardo for the Don't Bother Travel Show.
Oh, we do have good rants. My goodness. You should rehear the nomination episode because I'm going to. This is all. It's funny just in titles.
Someone mentions Greece. I want to go to Greece. I hear it's exciting. So I look up Greece on the computer. Top things to find in Greece. This white building, that white building. A windmill. It's white. Olives. Okay. All right. Chemda for open the airplane door. This is why Chemda gets to say we when we're talking about Jews, right? There's a dead-on impression of not understanding why they can't open the exit doors to help people leave a plane faster over there in Israel.
I just don't understand.
Keith for Keith's Doctor Conspiracy.
This was too much.
It is too much. These doctors aren't using your pee for all these different things. It wouldn't make any sense. They like to gargle it and bathe in it. The Illuminati is swimming in your piss. They hand you ever notice they hand you the piss container? They don't tell you what it is so that you can't sue them. If the cops come in later and they find all these jars of piss, they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, I don't know. We didn't ask nobody. Check the tapes.
You know, is this how conspiracy theories start in
Conspiracy?
Goofiest moment?
Conspiracy doesn't mean they're fake. Conspiracy means it's a group plan to fuck you. Karen Morrow for Karen on Superheroes. She set the fucking record straight on what superhero movies are worth your time, why certain producers aren't worth your time. She's sick of the bullshit of people trying to trick you with a Morbius, for example.
You know, normally everything is, "Hey, baby," and "That's all right, sweetie," but not this.
No. This is, and then we have Keith and Craig Space. By the way, I've been hanging out with Craig, at least virtually, since the new Hubble telescope came up. That was like January or February.
Are you guys okay?
He hasn't been talking about it too much. Surprise, surprise. All these things we found out in fucking deep space. We don't really hear any bullet points to rub it in my face. Just interesting.
Craig,
Anyway, yep.
What's it like being Keith's friend? That's all. Please continue.
That was his answer.
That's a little note from my friend Craig.
All right, here we go. We're calling the winner of Best Rant of 2022. Very exciting. Karen Morrow.
Yay!
Karen, congratulations. Karen on Superheroes was beloved by everybody. Marvel is taking over the universe. And people didn't even know about the passion play of Christ, but they all knew what Karen was saying about Ant-Man. And that's fantastic news. Thank you, Karen. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. You know what I did? I tapped into my inner Keith, because for those of you that listen to the whole show, I was like, well, this must be how Keith feels. I did not realize the high that comes with just be like, this is how I feel, and everybody's going to feel this anger today.
Right.
What a great way to describe Keith's energy.
Yes.
No,
That's
yeah,
the best way to be.
you know what's up, and you know that the audience is going to be on board. Have you seen the new Ant-Man, Karen?
I have.
And
I actually liked it. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst.
look at this.
And so
I actually liked it. That should put that in the commercials.
yes, I actually liked it. It wasn't like run out and see it, but it wasn't like dog shit like Keith would say.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
I didn't rate it that low, but I had to let everybody know about how I felt, because I'm gonna tell you, I embraced my inner nerd, because I used to didn't claim being a nerd. I always had a definition of what a nerd was, and I realized that I'm actually a nerd because only a nerd would get angry about something like that and want to explain it with that much passion.
Well, congratulations. That's very, very exciting. Of course, you can hear Karen on the Black Guy Who Tips, the podcast with Rod. That's fantastic. And how are you going to celebrate today, Karen?
Ooh, you know what? I think I might celebrate by going to see Cocaine Bear.
Okay. I'm not joking. I saw Cocaine Bear last night. It's better than Ant-Man.
Oh, I can't wait to go see it.
I think you're going to be excited. Yeah. And I honestly, first of all, I saw Ant-Man on a Thursday, just like I saw Cocaine Bear. Ant-Man, the theater was pretty empty for Thursday. Everybody thinks movies really come out on Friday. But it's a little trick to pad the numbers. This theater was fairly packed for Cocaine Bear, and I sincerely believe that the vast majority of people have done cocaine. There are so many subtle jokes about this bear scratching his back on a tree, fucking the tree, banging his head off the tree, focusing on something all of a sudden out of the blue, passing the fuck out because all the serotonin went away. Everybody got every little joke. They saw a kid about to eat cocaine. It sounded like they knew what that would taste like. I think you're gonna like it, and this whole planet's on drugs.
I cannot wait. So that's how I'm gonna go celebrate, by watching another movie.
Yes, you love animal movies, But I was a fan. If you never did cocaine, don't see it.
Damn.
If you have, I think you're gonna get it. Yeah, see, Karen said.
I haven't, so I'll just take their word for it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You haven't. I got you. Yeah, we all said that to each other, like, hey, we never even did it, but that was fun, right? Karen, congrats. Thank you so much for your time. Always good seeing you. Thanks for being part of Keith and the Girl for so long. You're Karen, I'm talking. And on the VIP show, when you do our wrap-up shows of the previous week, mother's milk. Now I'm done talking.
My God. Keith.
It's hard giving an award sometimes.
Karen is like the nicest human.
I know, but she's talking into her microwave.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I love you guys. Thank you very much. I enjoyed doing last week, and I'm glad that the people still love me and they don't want to throw me away yet.
Excellent. Thank you very much. They do adore you. Take care, Karen. Bye.
Bye.
How beautiful.
Such a beautiful person.
All right, here we go. We are now up to most shocking.
Okay.
Most shocking. And if I call you, talk into your phone. Here are the nominees. Liz Scheier for deliberately having a stillbirth. Her mom said, "My mom, your grandma, Liz, is underground dead, and that's sad. So, can you have a miscarriage of some kind and bury that miscarriage with my mom so that your grandma isn't all alone?" Holy shit. That was pretty shocking to me. But luckily now, thanks to Roe versus Wade being overturned, you can be like, I would, Mom, but the government, I'm really putting myself out there. Rod Morrow for Rod's post-sex role play.
Oh my God.
He's the one with the idea. You finish fucking somebody and you go, you didn't even know I was your brother. And you're like, what? Yeah, I tell you the role play after the fucking. Also for most shocking, Karen Morrow. Karen hugs a soft hug. Keith hugs a soft hug. Excuse me. Keith hugs a soft hug. Keith hugs a soft. Who the fuck? Can you help me? You're staring at it too.
Karen hugs a soft Keith.
Yes, Karen said, "Oh, I saw Keith in New York, and I want to say he's a great hugger, nice and soft." Well, thank you, Karen. Bianca Brady for the Malleys suck off Dad's thumb.
How could that not win? I can't not have a response to that. It's
every New Year's, my dad, a former priest, has to find a way to give us finger food. Still, he can't give communion, right? He found a way. He started a church in his basement. But anyway, every New Year's, he would mince garlic in a mincer, nice and juicy and lazy. Put his thumb in it. Put it in our mouth. We try to scrape it off with our teeth, but I think any court of law would find him guilty. And that's for the strength of the coming New Year. Then he would put that hand into honey and give us the cross because he wants to be one of the ashes givers, right? That's what he's doing. And he makes the cross with honey on our forehead. And that's for the sweetness of the coming year. Let's call our winner. For most shocking moment of 2022. The one. The only.
Hello.
Bianca Brady, the Malleys suck off Dad's thumb. Congratulations, Bianca.
It's me.
Yeah.
I won.
Congratulations. You do have interviewing skills like no other. We think everybody heard about me sucking my dad's thumb, the Malleys getting honey put on their forehead, and you somehow have a follow-up that nobody imagined would happen. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's proud to see what you've become, and congratulations.
I think the most shocking moment of next year should be that Bianca won most shocking moment of the previous year.
All right. We'll see how the audience takes to it.
Or maybe that's the cutest moment.
How are you going to celebrate today, Bianca? It's a big moment.
I'm getting a massage, actually.
I think you've earned it.
Shocking, I know.
Happy ending massage?
Oh, gosh. Keith, mind out of the gutter.
All right,
okay,
sorry.
this is an award ceremony.
Right, right. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy your massage. I want to say you're fantastic. Your weekly wrap-up shows, of course, everybody adores.
Are you enjoying LA?
Yes, I am, but it's raining like crazy. It's like they're getting crazy weather, so everybody's apologizing to me.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Are you going to try their marijuana while you're there?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly.
Are you going to see Cocaine Bear, if you know what I mean?
Well, I might see it, but
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get all the references.
I do wonder. I'm not acting like the movie's deep, but I do wonder if it's funnier if you've done cocaine.
Well, you're gonna.
It's probably funnier if you've ever been a bear as well.
They do the bear with all different drugs, heroin bear. Acid bear.
I also want to announce while we have Bianca here
Oh, God.
that
Very exciting.
for April 15th, Keith's stand-up recording extravaganza opening that night will be Bianca Brady.
Oh, geez.
Bianca's going to be doing stand-up on
God.
April 15th here in the great New York City. I couldn't be excited. Did you start rating, Bianca?
You can be more excited.
Did I start writing? Well, has my whole life been leading to this moment up till now? Yeah. So in that sense, yes, I have.
Okay. I started rating too then. Even longer than Bianca.
Because you're older.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, Bianca, congratulations. We're glad you're part of our lives, and we love you very much.
Love you too. Excelsior. Have a good one.
Bless you. How wonderful. How wonderful. I am excited about April. Ooh.
A little nervous?
Very,
It's been a while.
but excited.
Yeah, yeah. You
Right?
still got it. You still got it.
I wrote down some ideas. They're taking shape. They're slowly taking shape.
That counts.
I just got to remind myself, what do I hate?
Have you been on the phone with one or both of the boys, Craig and Adam, and maybe they say, "Hey, Keith, how do you feel about this topic?"
I see. Well, I did say, all right, guys, tell me all your funny thoughts. And Adam's like, you got to write down things as I say them throughout the year. You know, a lot of pressure right now. All right. We're about to call the best new guest of the year, Kemda. This is how many? There are like easily 25 new guests last year.
Right. Yeah, we had to do multiple brackets for this one.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
This is a huge deal. Who did you like the most, audience? Out of a whole year of new guests that Hemda put together. What a great job you've done, by the way, Hemda.
Thank you. That's
We're
nice.
going to keep you around for another year easily.
Holy shit. Is this
Hello.
That's another big announcement. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello, this is Keith and the girl. Liz, congratulations on best new guest of 2022.
Thank you. I am completely amazed and flummoxed and very grateful.
Well, you shouldn't be flummoxed. I think if mom asks you to bury a miscarriage underground, it might get some attention. But congratulations, everybody loved you, and everybody loved you being open with your stories.
Thank you so much. That's really kind. I really love talking to you guys. I was in a flop sweat the whole time, but I loved every minute.
Excellent. Excellent. How do you think you'll celebrate today? Because it is a big deal.
It is a big deal. I think probably champagne seems like the appropriate way. Or
Very
do you
good.
feel like this is more of like a Jägermeister situation?
Right. And to be clear for the audience, you never did indeed deliberately have a miscarriage to bury with your grandmother. Is that correct?
It is correct. I mean, from ethics aside, the pure logistics involved would have been pretty challenging.
I was wondering this. Do you get to, can you go, Mom, I would, but Roe versus Wade,
I'm sorry, say that again?
That could have been an excuse, like, Roe versus Wade's overturned. I can't otherwise I'd give you 5 miscarriages. But the government is watching us nowadays.
a very unanticipated side effect of dogs, yeah.
You're right. Well, congratulations, and thank you very much for being part of Keith and the Girl.
Thank you, sir. It was my pleasure.
Love ya. There we go. Those are your winners for the 2022 awards. Those are everybody you loved and the moments that you adored. All right. All right. Thank you. Big news over here. Harvey Weinstein is sentenced to 16 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
16 years in prison after scores of women came forward, accused him of rape and sexual assault. He's 70 years old. He, of course, was already in jail. 16 years in prison in Los Angeles added to what he already has, which is 23 years. So coast to coast, we got this guy.
You love this news, of course.
This is great news because sometimes you kind of forget about it. You're like, is it done now? But I know there's more women.
Right. So you don't mind if like he gets to be 80 something and they add more years. It doesn't matter to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, everybody's working on, new drugs to keep you alive longer and all this. I don't want any tricks. Make it multiple lifetimes. That's fantastic news. I thought this was funny. I kind of want to talk about Don Lemon, the newsman from CNN. He's been moved from nighttime to a morning show. And he was talking about a former representative, Nikki Haley, a Republican, who was saying, hey, these other maybe I'll run for president. These other politicians, they're not in their prime. They're too old. And Don Lemon says, hey, honey, maybe you're not in your prime. Uh-oh.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe.
No, right there. First of all, right there. You can tell he's going to get in trouble because I'm the one who brought it up. But right there when he goes, she's not in her prime. Sorry. It does sound a little sassy, doesn't it? Sorry. I said it. Sorry. It's true. You guys know what I mean. It seems like you're doing a different kind of prime.
It is annoying that he gets this much attention for this, though, to be honest, because this just means that he's right. This means that there's something to defend. It's just annoying.
Right.
You know,
Not in her prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got.
First of all, I Google chicks all the time. I've never Googled that in my life. He's also gay. It's interesting. He also Googled it.
Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that, politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
All right. Take a lesson from me when I interview somebody sometimes, Don, and you just got to go, okay, sounds good. What the fuck are you saying, Don? No, it looks like you're painting me with a sexist light. Let me explain. Women aren't in their prime. Hey, I didn't say it. Well, you can bring up the guys that she's talking about that are decades older and related. That might help you. So he got Don.
All right, you're right.
Right.
That was hilarious. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Don Lemon does. He's taken off the air for 1 day. He's given 1 day sensitivity training, and he's back on the air now. He's good. What could you possibly be teaching?
It should be like the best TED Talk.
A woman now, Dawn. A woman is in her prime when? Fuck. Always. Yes, always. Well, this doesn't make sense. All right, we got to take a break and another hour of class. You don't say it doesn't make sense, Don. I don't bring up birthing statistics on CNN. Okay, we're getting closer. 1 day, and Don's back. You send this guy, whoever teaches this fucking course is so good. You send him to jails. You have him teach Harvey Weinstein. You put it on YouTube for free for the world to watch. It seems like it only takes 4 hours, and you learned your lesson about sexism. Okay, so you're in your prime to your 50s and 60s. No, Don. Everyone's in their prime always. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, you think you're ready to talk about Iraq now? Yeah, I think so. Will you talk about the weather? Yes, but I won't say it's hot. Okay, good enough. Better safe than sorry, Don. Good for him. He's back. If you Google when is A right now, by the way, woman in her prime pops up #1. So he kind of skewered to find out if he was right or not. Only he pops up now. Oh, Don. What the fuck? And Nikki Haley, she's putting up merchandise now that beer koozies that say "Past my prime?" ? And "Hold my beer." She's 51 for the record. Prime time.
Oh shit, that's my age.
Don Lemon tweeted out the reference I made to a woman's prime this morning was inartful and irrelevant. Even though I'm right, it's not relevant. But I mean, let's be honest, some chicks are hotter than others. I guess you can't say that.
What's inartful?
It was inartful, Henda.
Inartful?
Inartful. It wasn't artful.
Is that one word?
It was
Inartful?
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't inartful.
I'm looking that up.
And it wasn't irrelevant. As colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it. I probably shouldn't have done it with 2 other women on the board also on my show. A woman's age doesn't define her either personally or professionally.
Inartful is awkwardly expressed, but not necessarily untrue.
There you go. He's clever. I have countless women in my life who prove that every day, that a woman's age doesn't define her either personally or professionally. Physically, yeah. Physically, of course. Could we be honest, folks? Oh, I got to go back to class. Oh, boy. Okay, so it doesn't affect them in any way. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right. Are they all the same in the best ways? Okay. All right. Okay, I think I learned the lesson, right? Don't roll your eyes. Okay. Ooh, I'm in an advanced class. Okay. All right. Anyway. KeithandTheGirl.com. Take a look around. Be subscribed
No.
to the YouTube channel.
KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets, because get tickets to Keith's stand-up taping. It's been a minute. I know you're nervous. I know it's been a minute, but you just wrote like half of an hour or something.
How about we just play that and we all just sit down and listen together and like give each other knowing nods, like.
We could play it, but you have to lip sync to it like it's the Super Bowl or no.
If I can lip sync to it the way they lip sync at the Super Bowl, no fucking problem. No fucking problem.
All right, but you will need backup dancers. We'll talk about it.
All right.
KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets. There's 4 events. And if you live in New York, there's no excuse. This is going to be so much fun, and we'd love to see you. If you're out of town, meet some other people that are coming from out of town. KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets for details. And guess what? Tickets. Thank you.